The UFL Gambling Podcast, Freedom Cup preview, picks, and DFS episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 325 times your entry with their brand new Pick 8. Yes, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Yes, they do have UFL action. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks from Rhythm. Claim your free 7-day trial period today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. Once again, that's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Football is a unique American experience. A game described by one turn-of-the-century critic as crude and barbaric, with little chance of survival. But survive it did.
I don't give a damn who you are. This is America, Jack. You know how to play British Tigers football?
Being played in the United States Football League.
We sometimes forget that football, being the consummate team sport, is a great deal more successful when you do play as a unit and don't rely on individual talent. Frankly, I'm impressed with the USFL.
America, this league is good for America, and football is a sport that is made for television.
That is football.
Unlike spring football is going to work in America.
You play to win the game. And now it is time for our USFL report.
Boom! The road to the Freedom Cup ends this weekend. Folks, we're back. The UFL Gambling Podcast. We're back and better than ever. All right. And we got one game left to decide a champion. Hopefully you're watching youtube.com/@UFL Gambling Pod, or to hop on over to Twitter or X. Make sure you go to @UFL Gambling Pod. Hit that, follow, all that good stuff. Excited to talk about the Freedom Cup. And look, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's how to pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Only one game left. I'm sad. All right. But don't worry, UFL Jeff, you suck. All right. But we only have one game left, and I'm excited to watch it, mainly because my boy who's 21-3 as a head coach of spring football, has a chance to get himself another championship. Or not? Did I say 21-3? I think he's 27-4. 27-4. I'm referring to Skip Holtz. This guy hates Skip Holtz. Give it up for the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. Some call him Scumbagger Vance. Some call him the Bet Detective. Give it up for CJ Sullivan. How you doing, pal?
Great. I love Skip Holtz. I don't know where you get that talk. I followed him since the Holy Cross Crusader days up there in Worcester, Massachusetts. He was 60-5 before he went down to Maryland, by the way. When he down there, or 65 and some kind of crazy record up there. He ran a nice program. But yeah, I love how you're saying you're sad now. That sums up this show. All
Well,
we do is
luckily
talk
we have,
shit every single week about this fucking league. You
well,
know what?
I like to
I'm gonna miss you.
gamble. I like to gamble.
I'm kidding.
I've made a shit ton of money on this league, and
I'm kidding. I know.
Luckily we have the CFL Gambling Podcast, which you didn't want to be a part of. You said you just don't want to be a part of that mess. But check out the CFL Gambling Podcast as we got games. We still got football going on. We are joined by the host of the CFL Gambling Podcast. With myself, give it up for. He's also the host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast, Whiskey and Football. Get on over there. Tomorrow's National Old Fashioned Day, so make sure you check out that podcast. Give it up for Justin Mark, aka J Mark. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. You said you were sad. Now you said it was the gambling. I thought it was hanging out with the trio here. I thought that's why you were sad it was over. But no, you said it's the gambling. That's fine. I get it. We see where we stand. Gambling.
I have my futures. My future's coming home. All right. I got a little future that I'm excited about. But
J Mark, he decided to do a show with you after this, so he's not sad that you're here. He's made it clear. Listen. You guys are doing a Canadian Football League. He's sad because he has to do another show with me before he can continue on and give out his fantastic.
I don't get bring the income.
That's Skip's dad.
Winnipeg and Hamilton parlays.
Guys, we're here. The Freedom Cup going on. I did see a report that we have next year. They're talking Friday nights. They're gonna be playing some UFL action. I don't know why not Thursdays. I don't know why not Mondays, but I'll take it because I've said this for a while that I thought the CFL has like the best format as far as Thursday. They do a game Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for a lot of the year. And Drunken Irishman saying you can get $4 tickets to the Freedom Cup. There you go. Get yourself over to St. Louis. To that filthy Battle Dome.
We talked about that. I mean, there would have been 40,000 people there if Tony knows how to fucking work a clock. But what is gonna happen attendance wise? Are St. Louis fans gonna show up to see San Antonio and Birmingham go at it? I doubt it.
That's gonna be what's our projection? Let's take a guess. Let's bet on that. How many people? How many people that you don't have to get the exact number, but thousands? What are we looking at? 14,000?
They should pay people to go, like extras. The Rock can't fill a stadium. One of his movies, $50 a day, and a nice hot lunch.
You can't shoot a scene at halftime.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Bit foolish. What's your guess? I'm gonna say 14,000.
I think that's high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty high. It's a good number, but I'll definitely go lower than that.
All Around Hustle saying 20K. Drunken Irishman saying over 15K or over under 15K. He's saying
unless they're really drunk Battlehawk fans who do not realize that they're not playing in the championship, unless like they thought they were like this.
It is St. Louis.
Yeah.
Where's AJ and his kids? I don't see them.
Why wouldn't you just give free tickets to the whole city of St. Louis?
That's what I'm saying. Fill this place up.
$4 is pretty much free these days, right?
No, but it's the idea of free, man. I
suppose
the idea of free. You start. I was watching a Chicago White Sox game like a couple weeks back, and there was like 4 people at the game, and I'm like, why don't you just let people in? I don't know. I don't understand it.
I mean. Yeah, they're not going to want to go. You can't pay White Sox fans to go to that game.
But I'm saying, like, if you let people come in, then they're more likely to buy a beer. You know what I mean? Shirts.
Trust me, I have plenty of experience on the south side of Chicago. You don't want those fans coming in there for free, coming to drink.
Well, if that's the case,
to scream at your team. Trust me, you want them at Shinnick's, you want them at Shaler's, you want them at bars down the street. You don't want them throwing shit at your team because they'll jump the fence there and beat an assaulted first base coach.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
St. Louis is probably on that same level then. Shout out to the chat, everyone talking. They said All Around Hustle saying they did 22K in San Antonio.
Yeah.
All right.
That's true. They played in the Alamo Dome. Looking at Game Time right now, one of our great sponsors, though, you can get good seats. $23 down low to $17, $20, $30. Couples $93. You get the quarterback for that, for fuck's sakes. I better get the duty opening kickoff if I'm paying $90 for this game.
Is there such a thing as good seats in a dome?
Oh, here we go.
Sorry. If I want to go indoors to see something, it's going to be a movie. All right.
Did you ever see Dundee? This one time was on this NFL CBS back when Musburger and Irv Cross were those guys on NFL CBS, and Dicka would always complain about the Metrodome of Minnesota.
He would wear roller skates, man.
And he wore roller skates out the office. Oh, that was hilarious.
I mean, John Madden pretty much, dude, like I have like 1,000 clips on here from Madden at like 20 different games being like, the game should never be played indoors. They didn't make the game to be played indoors. He's a fucking legend. But anyway, look, we had some news, right? Right, J-Mark? What was that news again regarding some rosters turnover?
Yeah, so wide receiver / tight end Landon Akers, Iowa State guy, has been suspended probably for gambling. I mean, that's what they like to suspend Iowa State people for. And the Brahmas wanted to pick up Matt Seibert, the tight end from the Maulers last year, and they didn't say why.
Mm-hmm.
But they were told you cannot. And Wade said that in the league they talked about it and weighed in, but they came to an agreement. I think he was told, no, you just can't do it. Don't know why. And now Brandon Silver's on Twitter making a big deal about the Brahmas are getting blocked from taking players. It's like, I don't think he's going to make a big difference in the game. Calm down.
Is son of bum trying to cheat, bet detective? trying to push the envelope?
Trying to cheat. The league's trying to get your darling Birmingham Skip Holtz dynasty already through to a championship game. They're plucking away some great players. I mean, we're suspending players the day before the championship. This is ridiculous. What could Landon Akers possibly have done? Yeah, I mean, I get it. $20 parlay card would, rival the salary they get over there. It's not like a difference between the NIL money at Iowa State. What could he have
possibly have done? My guess, maybe he ran into UFL Jeff, gave him an old uppercut. Said, you suck at your fucking job, man.
Proper credentials.
Yeah. And maybe something like that happened. Maybe security blocked him from coming in. He didn't give away his full last name.
I like more fuel to the fire for son of a bum. That's just going to all the doubters. That is what we fuel. The league is against us. Wade's got more things to rally the troops in the locker room. I love it. Nobody wants me to win that, including 2/3 of the show right here.
He was suspended for stepping away from the team for personal reasons.
That's the whole goddamn league has to step away for personal reasons. That's why last year they had to keep him locked in a combine, for crying out loud.
Yeah, we had June Jones on the show, right? He's like Seattle. They had no team. They had no team. All right.
Like Calipari at Arkansas.
Yeah, we can cue in that.
And you know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity. I'm like, let's go. Now, I met with the team. There is no team.
Oh, man. All right, folks. Look, you are listening to the UFL Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Enjoying Noah Beanick, the man, the myth, the legend, on the College Baseball Experience, live streaming each night on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience, or available for download on all podcast platforms for daily coverage and picks of the greatest show on dirt, aka the College Baseball World Series, all the way to the end of June. Also, the Circa announced they're giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes for Circa Survivor and Circa Million. Sign up in Las Vegas and play from anywhere with footballcontestproxy.com, promo code SGP to get $50 off. Once again, that's footballcontestproxy.com, promo code SGP for $50 off. All right. Sam, shout out to Sam Pierce. All right. Bless you for a great season of content. Well, thank you, Sam. We're grateful. We're grateful.
Absolutely. People listen to us at work. They love saying that. And
I love seeing Reddit just call me a filthy piece of shit.
Yeah,
right. 20 people just sitting saying you are a total failure. I'm blocked. I'm blocked on Reddit, by the way.
And shout out to you, Dundee, for having restraint. And you could easily, send your Dundee minions to do your bidding and attack these Redditors and bring down, and challenge these Redditors like Taylor Swift, when these Swifties unleash on any haters. You could throw your Dundeeers out, at these guys on Reddit and take them down. But you're a professional. You were above it. That comes with the territory. You're going to take some hits. First one through always gets hit.
Oh, I mean, just the fact they think I care that they blocked me from the Reddits. You know what I mean? Come on.
Your power rankings speak for themselves. Legendary.
That's what I'm saying. All right, now let's talk about this Michigan Panther Birmingham game. No, that was my power rankings, but it was impossible. They did play in the USFL Championship. Okay, we got the lines. A real game of United Football League stuff is happening where crossroads meet empty stadiums. And look, the Birmingham Stallions are laying 3.5 against the San Antonio Brahmas right now on DK. It was 3. It's up to 3.5. Not loving that. The total also on DK is 42. Now you can shop around. There's some sharper numbers out there. I encourage you to do so. Since I got to give away a lock, I'm taking Birmingham. They announced they're starting Adrian Martinez, which is always scary. Back to his college days, I felt like in big games, did kind of have some problems. But he's the MVP of this fucking league. He realizes that he's got people were dragging him. I personally got some texts, Bet Detective.
Mm-hmm.
One, Terrell Furman Jr., who was a big Adrian Martinez hater in college, was hitting me up saying, "Oh, he got benched in the championship game." I knew I was right, and I replied saying, "Well, he still got the MVP,
right?
All right,
MVP, yeah.
He's gonna have that forever, sitting on his mantle. All right." It's a prove it game for him, and that's why I think Corral gets in there too. But look, Skip Holtz lost to this team the first time when they weren't trying, and now now there's a reason to fuck you guys up because you won one, son of a bum walking around the Golden Corral, not paying for shit in St. Louis. All right. And I'm all over this. Skip Holtz he feels disrespected. I heard a rumor that he came over to Holtz's table at the Golden Corral and took some of his fucking French fries and ate it right in front of his face. And that's the type of stuff that matters. No, the Birmingham Stallions are the best team in the league. All right. You can do all this foo-foo San Antonio bullshit all day, but the cream always rises to the top. All right. And I know he can quote they're the best defense in the league. They lead by sacks. They lead by like 1 sack on Birmingham, and Birmingham had 3 games where they didn't even need to play. So the real best defense is sitting there in Birmingham, giddy up, lay the 3.5 against these bullshit Brahmas. Take the over too. I love the over. Love the over. But get the sharper number. Get the sharper number out there. Bet Detective, why am I a fucking idiot?
No, I mean, of course you're not an idiot. You're just a sheep. That's all you are. You're following along. It's I'm sure everyone's going to be on Birmingham, right?
I made a Schwartz
So it's not your fault, of course not. Yeah, you're doing what people told you to do. I understand. You're like, Birmingham, they haven't lost in years. They're the best team all season, and they have been, no doubt about it. But you said it yourself. Adrian Martinez in big games. The MVP was a disaster last week, and it's not good. I know if you were the GM, you were about to trade Corral weeks ago. Like, hey, we don't need him. We got Adrian Martinez.
Jamar Smith's already won a championship.
Matt Corral, and shout out to Matt Corral because the season was over last week. Michigan was winning that game, no doubt about it. And then, Eklund did his fucking thing. But I mean, Corral hadn't played in 7 weeks, and he stepped right in, and he was amazing. And they do not win that game if Matt Corral doesn't come in there and rally the troops.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember that bullshit in St. Louis, the greatest show on turf or whatever?
The one that won the Super Bowl? Correct.
Yeah. Well, they lost to the Patriots in the AFC Championship. Drew Bledsoe came in, who started the season before Mo Lewis knocked him the fuck out. One of my favorite plays ever. And he came back, comes in the AFC Championship game, gets them to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady starts the Super Bowl. Of course, the world thinks he's the greatest thing ever. He throws for a solid $190. And Adam Vinatieri makes a 50-yard field goal, and Ty Law is a pick 6. But they won the game.
All right.
That's a perfect comparison of what's going to happen here. All right.
I have no idea what that comparison's about, but
because Corral started the game's beginning of the year, they benched him for the better quarterback, and then he came in the AFC Championship game, just like the USFL Championship game.
I see. Adrian Martinez is Tom Brady. I get it. I understand. I understand.
Actually, he's way more athletic than Tom Brady.
He's better than Tom Brady, if you ask me. He doesn't.
Well, he's a football player. He's a football.
You're goddamn right.
You know what I mean?
Of
quarterbacks
course,
normally aren't football players. Continue. Sorry.
When I saw the roster, I thought this line was going to be around 6, to be honest with you. The fact that it's 3.5, I'm not worried at all. I'm on the Brahmas. I'm definitely taking the 3.5, and I'm on the money line as well. This reminds me of last year's game as well with the DC Arlington, where Arlington kind of got a little bit hot. They got Perez. They started rolling. Next, they were just rolling. San Antonio is rolling right now, and that defensive line is not a fraud. It's not just a defensive line anymore. It's an entire defense. Yes, they lead the league in sacks. I mean, you don't know who's going to be there at quarterback. Now, you can say the same thing with the Brahmas, but they've been disrespected all year long. Son of a... I'll pull it out. The son of a bum. Wade Phillips, I am now the grandson of a bum. I'm myself in the family lineage. I've ripped up all my future tickets. I do not have one on the Brahmas, but I've been riding the Brahmas every week for the last month or so, and they're not only on an underarm because of that defense, but that I think this... I mean, not that it's going to get away from them, but Birmingham's been begging to lose for the last 5 games.
They had more sacks than the fucking Brahmas last week.
And they did lose to actually this San Antonio team. And don't tell me they weren't trying to play. God damn it. They know that they're trying to put stuff on tape. And that's what this league's all about. They were out there playing, and they're not, let's just say this. Motivation or not, San Antonio is not intimidated by Birmingham. They know they can play with them. They know they can be with them. That's not going to be an issue. They're not going to get dominated. They're going to be the more physical team. I'm excited for the championship game, but I'll definitely take the 3.5 points. This team is just on its way up, and why step in front of them?
Look, you talk all this shit about this defense. The Stallions had more sacks than the Brahmas last week. All right?
What? Last week, hit the soundbite. Yeah, no shit. Because you're going to get fucking Michigan Panther garbage ass quarterbacks. While Perkins,
AJ McCarron couldn't even fucking move.
Perkins is in a hospital somewhere.
AJ McCarron sitting there is like, I can't play. I'm obviously playing like shit, right?
Yeah, and they broke him down, and then they let him get rid of the ball. They fucking dominated him. They only let up one to score to him. The other team scored. St. Louis had was a defensive touchdown. In the dome in front of 45,000 people.
AJ Martinez doesn't have no bum leg. And he's not be sitting there hanging out with his kids on every goddamn commercial break. All right?
Not 12 shirtless rednecks down there trying to suck off the fucking goddamn beer snake ripoff.
He's so full of shit milking this Brahma defense. You know what I mean?
Eventually, you're going to have to submit and realize these are your champions. Centennial Brahmas. You can say it a hot shot. They took advantage of all the rules.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
And wait till Wade finds out they won the championship. It'll be even more of a joyride.
J Mark, I know you're a part of this podcast, but
well, I'm sitting here silenced and appalled that CJ just brought up the Renegades from last year. We're comparing Chase Garbage to the great Luis Perez. Come on.
I'm also planning on Dormandy getting in there second half. This is gonna be a Dormandy Corral second half matchup.
And Sam asking how much of a leash does Martinez have? I don't think it matters because I think they plan on playing both either way. I also don't think, I mean, Skip Holtz won with Jamar Smith. He won with Alex Magoo. It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. He's got a really good system set up. I know the Brahmas have been playing hot. I get that. Their defense has been red hot. But I just think that Skip Holtz has this spring league, this spring football figured out. I know we're not normally this kind of show, but let's go Birmingham. I'm stripping.
Whoa! Look at this.
Let's go Birmingham.
Giddy up, baby. Let's
Wow.
go.
No
input. I do the 3.5 even when it was 3. I feel like they're begging you to take the Stallions, but I'm doing it anyways. I think the Stallions win this game. I do think it'll be fairly close, but not 3.5 close. This is going to be a low score, grinded out. Both defenses are going to show out. It's going to be a real football game. Not, I know it's in a dome, Colby. I know, but it's going to be a real football game.
They could have played it in Canton. They could have played it in Canton. They do this bullshit. That's what happens. You leave the league in some Hollywood actor's hands. You know what I mean? They played it in Canton when it was in a fullback's hands. That's the way it should be. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of the total?
Well, I was just going to say, I told you, I know which side you're leaning. Go ahead and give your opinion first there on the total. So I know you love the over.
I like the over because, well, there's still 41.5 out there. And to me right there, this league is just set up for scoring, guys. So I think no matter how good these defenses are, like if you're accurate on this Brahma defense being as legit, which they have gotten a lot better, but they're going to force turnovers. Then we just saw we just watched Adrian Martinez throw a bunch of turnovers the other day. We also saw the Stallions defense have 5 sacks and multiple turnovers. So I think that can happen to San Antonio as well. With turnovers comes scoring. I love the over 41.5.
I'm seeing 42. I don't give a shit. I don't think this thing goes past 35. The Brahmas are 10-1 to the under this year. That's a dominating defense and an inept offense. That's a perfect under combination.
They never played the best team in the land when they had to care.
Let's go back to all the way back to week 9 when these two teams played each other. The final score 18-9. By the way, in that game, as we'll have the rematch. I know you're saying the motivation.
It was a useless game. Also, Matt Corral didn't even take a snap. All right.
That's because they were playing against the MVP.
Matt Corral's a very good quarterback too, and so is Jamar Smith.
now you're a Matt Corral stan.
No,
this is amazing. This Birmingham team. They're
look. Hear me out. I actually really believe Skip Holtz will have this approach. Well, I know this because at East Carolina he did this shit, right? And not the biggest fan of it all the time, but I also think it presents challenges to defend. At East Carolina, we had Patrick Pinkney, who was a mobile quarterback, and our backup quarterback was just kind of your more statuesque throwing quarterback. But we would play both all the time and go back and forth. But I also do believe it fucks with you defensively. We had Bud Foster, Virginia Tech's legendary defensive coordinator, had to deal with that shit, and that we always had Virginia Tech's number. It felt like because a lot of it, I think, due to that. We had a good special teams, good defense too. But I really believe that that we didn't see Corral in that game the first time they played, and I do think when you switch it up, they become a much better, much more efficient passing team. But then when you switch back to the playground rules, Adrian Martinez is just a wild card. You got to stay disciplined.
I take your point and I believe it, but if this was by choice, they played Corral last week out of necessity because Martinez was bad. Corral hasn't played in 7 weeks until then. Now, granted, they were playing because he was the money guy. They wanted to be a guy. Then Martinez stepped up and he was the MVP for a reason. And I'm glad they're starting Martinez. He deserves another shot. I mean, he's the MVP. But it's not like they're going to go, hey, we're going to platoon it and say you get 2 different styles of play. If Martinez plays great, he's staying in there, I think.
I don't know. Cause here's my thing is I think Martinez, he kind of plays kind of like an and one style. You know what I mean? Of like his game is, he Mickey Mouses it. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he can make plays, but he's the best quarterback in the league. based on what we've seen this year, right? Based on the tape we've watched for all the games.
Yeah.
He is an athlete that can pose problems. But Wade Phillips, I think, has also spied him well in that one game and kind of limited that he didn't need to blitz as much as perhaps other teams did. And I think Matt Corral can be just a different style quarterback that can make you stress out a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Is that you got to prep for both, but
I like the not even barely coded language of and one tapes mix. Tapes.
Dude, like Martinez will hold onto the ball. He'll fake run to the right, go to the left. All this crazy shit. Yeah,
I agree. He does wild shit back there, and he's good. And you're right. They are definitely two different styles. And Corral could be a problem if he gets in there. I mean, either way, Birmingham is the better roster and all that. I'm just taking this hot defense. And I like the under because, I mean, you can't argue with 10-1 towards the under.
Well, they never played a real Stallions team when they had to care, though.
Fair enough.
The best team in the league.
Okay.
The Freedom Cup champions.
They are the reigning Freedom Cup champions.
What do you think total-wise, J-Mark?
22-11. Brahmas win. I'm on the under. I just think it's going to be a slow game, defensive battle. 22-11. That's my prediction for the score.
What do we think about McFarland? What do you think? Like that's the blueprint to San Antonio winning. Is Martinez making a few turnovers, and them just please, if I were them, you got to give him at least 15 carries, right? At least 15. I don't think he's had 15 in a game all year, right?
Well, I mean, him and Lovett last week, both. They had 18 and 11, and McFarland had the big run. If you take that away, it'd be obviously less, but they were a good tandem.
Biggest run in the history of the league.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to...
you don't want to give him the ball more because of that?
They did fine. They didn't need to. They had 11 carries. Mr. Lovett had 18. They were both very productive.
I'm sorry. 11 carries to the best running back in the league. I think
they're saving him for this week. Trust me.
His anytime touchdown price is plus 105. I like that.
Oh yeah, we got props. We got props for that. I mean,
yeah, let's go down some props.
Let's what do you like prop wise over there? I know FanDuel has some great props for first score or
I'm about to play a ladder here.
Yeah, let's do this because look, you see it right now. Anytime touchdown, McFarland plus 105. You got Ricky Person Jr. minus 155. That one, I wouldn't take that. Deion Kane plus 150. John Lovett minus 130. John Dre Kirkland plus 180. Marlon Williams plus 190. Marlon Williams is the one that I feel like hasn't gotten the ball as much as he did a few weeks back. But first touchdown. This is my favorite one to do. You do that first touchdown play. How about CJ Marable plus 1,200? Are you fucking kidding me? Let's load up on that.
Solid play.
I mean, this is a veteran on the team. In big games, you trust your veterans. You know what I mean? Marable plus 1,200. Let's go. What do you like there, Jay?
What's his anytime?
I didn't see his anytime.
Plus 210.
Yeah,
I like that a lot too.
Yeah, I like that play.
Yeah. Oh, I did see that. Okay.
I did see that. I like Jay Sternberger anytime touchdown plus 280, almost 3-1 on Sternberger. I like that a lot because that's another guy that he's been in these spring leagues and he's shown up in those big games. So I think he does it again.
Yeah, I like tight ends for first touchdowns as well too. When it gets locked down in there, it's usually not your bigger plays like wide receivers or Kirkland or something like that. It's kind of like it's in the red zone, it's kind of tight up, and so either your tight ends or running backs do well, and so you can get some really good prices on backup tight ends and whatnot, even main tight ends in this league.
Yeah. CJ, you to jump in on any of this action? You like? I mean,
I'll take a McFarland ladder. What's 2 or 3 touchdowns for McFarland?
Unfortunately, there is no 2 touchdowns.
I only see anytime touchdown in first score. Now McFarland's plus 850 first score. You want to jump in on that action?
They won't let me get in on the ladder, huh?
They're depriving you of the laddie daddy.
As far as first touchdown, I could go if you want to. Sternberger is a great play. also, I wouldn't even mind a Jordan Thomas.
Yeah,
with that second tight end as well. Jordan.
No,
Thomas,
I like that too. I like
that extra point.
I thought about rostering him DFS. I didn't, but I thought about that. And we're about to give away our DFS lineups, folks.
What is real quick? What is Jordan Thomas' first touchdown? That's my play.
Not there.
Yeah,
there you go. Cowards. FanDuel, you cowards. Give me a Jordan Thomas first
Sternberger plus 1,600 though.
Yeah,
I like that. Gotta love that. Gotta love Sternberger. I wouldn't mind playing them both. If I can get like a 25-1 on Jordan Thomas and 16-1 Sternberger, you have those tight ends locked up.
Look, we're about to give away the DFS lineup here, but before we do that, I want to tell you that the UFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Pick 8 is now live for the NBA Finals, and create entries with up to 8 picks, and Underdog will automatically double flex entries so you can miss up to 2 picks and still win your entry. With more picks to make and extra ways to win, the excitement is higher than ever. And the best part, you can win up to 325 times a year the amount that you enter originally. You can now use specials and boost on all flexed entries too. So do not miss your chance to try this thing out before it's gone. Sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Once again, that's Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. All right, DFS time. Obviously, one game, so it's a little bit structured a little differently. You got the king, you got the captain, or whatever. And for me, I took a shot on Anthony McFarland. He's the one guy that scares me. For like, if San Antonio's going to win the game, it's because I think he's better than everybody. And if they get the ball to him, if they're smart enough to get the ball to him a lot, which they should be after last week's performance and after the whole goddamn season when he came on the field. So I kinged him. Anthony McFarland at 13,500. He's my captain. Bet Detective, what'd you go captain wise?
Yeah, I definitely thought about captaining McFarland. It's definitely a great choice. But I went even a little higher. Not only does San Antonio have the best running back in McFarland of anyone in this game, I'd say they have the number one receiver as well, Javonte Kirkland, and he's definitely explosive. And when I'm looking for a crown player, I want someone that has the possibility to get 2 or 3 long touchdowns and really pop if you home run hitter. And Javonte Kirkland is that, so I put him in my captain. So that makes it 15,000 average. He averages 15 points a game. So, and like we said, all season long, you're not going to go broke going with a passing attack against Birmingham because you're going to have to keep up with them at some point. Yeah, I like that play. He is the best wideout in this game too. J Mark, what'd you do with the captain spot?
I also put McFarland in there. Funny that the two people rooting for Birmingham have McFarland. He had 17.6 points last time they played. Now, granted, John Lovett didn't play that game, but he had 21.9 last week. He's explosive as well. And I think they need to get him the ball, whether it's running the ball or pass catching out of the backfield.
Yeah. He's the blueprint. He's the blueprint of them winning. So.
And he knows he has to have a few broken tackles to break Mark Thompson's record. He's holding it right now of a stat leader. I'm sure that's in his mind right now that he's trailing Mark Thompson in broken tackle runs in spring football history.
All right. My next most expensive player is Adrian Martinez at 11,000. I think it's a big prove it game for him. If you're going to be MVP, a lot of people talking shit about you. And look, I'm one that I think Corral is going to get in the game. But I still just think Martinez, this is his moment to shine. The fact he runs the ball so well, I think it's essential that he does that in this game. If Birmingham's going to win, A, I think both quarterbacks will get on the field, but also B, I think Martinez will be able to break off some runs that really like give this defense a hard time because them fluctuating from Corral to him. It's funny. I almost think it's essential to Martinez's success for this one game. Is the fact that they've actually played both quarterbacks. But so for 11 grand, that's what I did. What'd you do? What's your second highest price guy, Bet Detective?
After Kirkland, I believe I went Chase Garbers quarterbacking for I'm all in on the San Antonio team now. I believe Garbers did give him a spark when he did come back. Dormady got in there towards the late, but I think that's when the game didn't matter. I think they were actually smart, and Wade Phillips wanted to ice Garbers, make sure he was fine for the playoff game last week, which he was. He came out there, he was on fire in that first half versus St. Louis, and then they really didn't need to pile on the points at that point once the defense had that game locked down. So, like I said, I think I'm looking for that hookup between Kirkland and Garbers. And it's weird. It's odd because
you're on the under.
I am on the under, but it is odd because obviously Martinez, you can't go wrong playing Martinez. But I also don't want to spend money for a quarterback that might be platooning and might fizzle out. Who might have a short leash as well if things don't go well. We just saw it happen last week in his big game. Who knows what's going to happen with it? Odds are I don't think it's going to happen. I think Martinez will have I think he'll bounce back from last week, but it's an overroll of the dice. You could also be sitting on the bench the entire game.
Yeah. J Mark, who's your second highest price guy?
I'll tell you what's going to happen. That Brahma's defensive line is going to get after him, and he's going to take off and run for a shit ton of yards. He had 56 against them in their first game against each other. I think he runs for more. I got Martinez as my second highest price guy there.
We got the same team.
I hope not.
Yeah. My third highest priced guy, but I like it. I think he is going to have to use his legs to do stuff there. My third highest price guy, CJ Marable. I had the money to go, him and Ricky Person were actually, I think Person might even be a little less. But I think Marable, because of the experience in this offense, they might trust him a little bit more. This is, I think, year 3 of CJ Marable in this offense. Pivotal game. I'm just going to take a shot on him over Ricky Person, who I know Person was with them last year. So you're arguing 3 years to 2 years, but I also think Marable's better out of the backfield than Person. So there's a shot at him getting some catches too. Bet Detective, who's your third most expensive guy?
Well, just to go through this real quick, because I also have McFarland, of course. He's my third most expensive. It goes Kirkland, Garbers, McFarland. And 9,000, no need to hammer home any of the points you guys already brought up about him, but I also have Marble as well. He was my guy at the beginning of the season. I was rocking CJ every single week until he got hurt, and then the prices kind of came down a little bit. But you guys were hitting Person with the value, even though I was loyal to CJ. I'll come back to him one last time. I think he'll have a big game, and for 7,800, you can't go wrong with that. So I got McFarland, Marble, Garbers, and Kirkland.
You don't have Marable, do you, J Mark? Do you?
I do not. I don't have Marable. But you CJ's got to stick together.
That's right.
My next priced player is Jontre Kirkland, because like CJ said, he's got that big playability. He can put up major yards, whether they're scoring a lot or not. He's a guy that they look to a lot. So I like his ability to put up even just some, PPR points.
Yeah. And the last time he played, he got a bunch of targets, but I think he had like 7 or 8 targets, and he had, I think, 4 catches for like 60 yards, if memory serves me correct. I will say this: the Stallions have one of the best corners in the league, but it's still, you got to think, that he'll be able to get at least that production again. So, I like it. All right, look, before we get to our final players on the DFS slate, I want to tell you that the UFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Rhythm. If you're betting on NBA player props, then you need to download Rhythm. That's RITHMM. Rhythm is a prediction and projections app that makes data and analytics in sports betting easy for everybody. And Rhythm's predictive models were born from the brains of MIT data scientists and quants with over 3 years of data that help drive you up to better AI-backed. I can't talk. Drive you to better AI-backed betting decisions. And one of the things I do with Rhythm is, use it as a way to, unearth some gems. So check out Rhythm. Claim your free 7-day trial period today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. I know there's only one NBA game left potentially. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, but it's still great moving forward. Check it all out, folks.
I will say that they were on Sam Hauser last night, Rhythm, and Sam Hauser went off, the white man, for the Celtics. Threes, rebounds, assists. They were on all of them, and he hit every single one of them.
Damn. Damn, there we go. So check out Rhythm, folks. That's RITHMM. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is now an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, with killer last minute deals, all in prices, views from your seats, and the lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. So yes, if you're going to some games, all right, if you're going out there, if you're in St. Louis all weekend, you're going to catch the cards. We'll take the guesswork out of buying those tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that redeeming code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, terms apply. Redeeming code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, so I think I'm on my fourth most. My fourth most expensive player. That is tight end Jay Sternberger. I think you've seen him over the years have huge games for the Stallions. I think he is an X factor, and I think he is a guy that you go back and you look at what the last time they played. He had 7 for 110 and a touchdown against, and they weren't even trying. Jay Sternberger, 6,800.
Amazing how they can do that. Just not trying. Still get 110 yards and a touchdown versus professionals that are trying. It's weird. Well, that's just how incredibly talented they are.
I'm just telling you, Sternberger. Huge game loaded.
I like Sternberger for sure. He's great.
Did you not roster him, you son of a bum?
I did not. I'm pretty much out of money at this point. Although I do have 1,800 left over the whole thing. But I went real dumpster diving. Before this is a correlated play. I have 2 guys left here. One, I went with this is actually more expensive than play. I went with the Brahmas defense. This defense is 10-1 towards the under. That leads the league in sacks, no matter how nitpicky you want to get with the numbers, against an absolute choke artist of a big game, Adrian Martinez. Now they're going to get after him. They're going to roll his ankle like they got the fucking McCarron and his kids out of there last week. They're going to body bag, and Wade Phillips is putting bounties. The real Greg Williams is coming out this week. They have a vendetta. I see this defense having a turnover frenzy with Martinez. I see Corral getting in there and having and they'll even be more of a sitting duck for him. But give me this Brahmas defense and an absolute and I'm just riding the best unit, maybe the best unit of the 4 out there.
All right. Look, you can spin your bullshit any which way you want to. All right.
Listen, if you don't, like I said, if you go to the wedding, you got to go to the funeral. So I'm all in on this. Might as well shove it. It's a little game theory with it as well.
J Mark, who's your fourth most expensive guy?
Winnipeg Better's already getting a little nervous. Ottawa's about to score. I got Jay Sternberger as well. He's, like we said, he's a reliable guy. We all like him as an anytime touchdown or even first touchdown. I think he will get in the end zone. I think he's going to get a lot of targets and come down with a good handful of them. So Jay Sternberger.
Yeah, I mean, especially when he's trying, Next up, my second to last guy is, look, I have McFarland. I loaded up on John Lovett as well at 5,800. I think the ground game is essential. So load up on those backs. They're going to be able to eat a little bit, but they won't win the game or anything. But John Lovett, 5,800. Let's go. Bet Detective, second to last guy.
This is my last guy because I doubled up because you guys already had mine. I had Kirkland, Garbers, McFarland, CJ, Brahma's defense. And then my cheapest guy, absolute dumpster dive, if anyone also needs any value, at 2,400. I think it's CJ's another Birmingham player. Wide receiver Gary Jennings, who came in there last week. When Matt Corral went in there, he immediately looked at him. He was his guy. They had a connection going on. He had 5 targets, 3 catches for about 59 yards, 1 for 40 yards, a big play, and he looked good out there. And if Corral gets in there, this is why it's correlated with the San Antonio defense, which he will once we knock Martinez out of there. It might be a Gary Jennings show. Gary Jennings and Corral show. So I'll give you some of that hookup for 2,400. Well, how can't you? The guy had 60 yards last week and 5 targets.
Hey, not bad. J-Mark, who's your second to last guy or last guy?
I'm going to give them both out. I got two left, but I took both defenses because I think this is going to be a defensive battle. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think you're going to see turnovers on each side, sacks on each side. Stallions are 4,800, Brahmas are 3,800. I just think these are the two best defenses in the league, so it makes sense to throw them on there.
Playing both sides of the fence. What a guy. Aren't you going to the lake this weekend too?
Well, we're going up there tonight so that we can go up to South Dakota tomorrow.
Jesus.
Wait, how the fuck are you going to pull off this Freedom Cup in the middle of this travel?
Well, Sunday is the Freedom Cup. We'll be driving back, and I'll have it on the little screen there.
This reminds me of last year when I had to watch the XFL Championship in Columbia. But yeah, I like playing both. So I have the Stallions defense. They're the better defense. All right, I don't care how son of a bum wants to slap this bullshit on there and try to present it to you. All right, Stallions get it done. Big time turnover late in the game, and the over cash is still. But the Stallions are going to have a defense. I called for a pick six last week. This time it's going to be a strip sack. Sack. So yeah, that's the DFS plays, folks. And we appreciate you've been rocking with us all year. We will have a reaction show to the Freedom Cup. And in the meantime, I am watching the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Good hold, by the way, J-Mark. Blue Bombers held them to I believe a field goal. I don't know. I was talking right now when that happened, but
so a reaction show. We got one more, and then of course the awards banquet we have at the end of the year. We tried to get together last year. That's when we'll bring in all this. That's when we'll have Mark Thompson come in and speak. Everyone can air out their events and have kind of a whole seasonal recap.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Vince McMahon rumored to be on the show too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you covered. So, yeah, until then, enjoy the Freedom Cup. Also check out the CFL Gambling Podcast because obviously action's going on right now. And make sure you give J-Mark a follow at J-Mark Football on Twitter. Check out the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Enjoy your old fashions tomorrow on Old Fashioned Day.
Old Fashioned Day.
There you go. Also check out the grandson of a bum, the Bet Detective, aka Scumbagger Vance. Check out the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. No, look, we like to have our little UFL feud where Crossroads meet Dundee against Son of a Bum. But the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, absolutely fantastic stuff. Also check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. He's giving away PLL plays. All right,
we're hot in PLL.
There you go. Jump on over there. Check that out. And
chaos is coming. Carolina chaos is coming.
There we go. He's also been on some college football experience episodes as we're breaking down every single college football team, all 134 teams, and now we're dedicated to every single team in the land. Check out those. Check out the Stadium Heads podcast where me and Michael Barker talk about the history of all the college football stadiums and why college football is the greatest thing to hit planet Earth. Talk about it. So get on over there. Talk about it with your friends. Check out all those podcasts. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Until next time, enjoy the Freedom Cup. You guys are awesome. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here. Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the cameras. Run and shoot.